Do you take electrolytes in some way to try and keep the salt balance right in your body? If you are doing a lot of exercise, or in fact if you're just a regular follower of this channel, you probably are, because you've probably learned how important it is to have your electrolytes in balance, and you possibly had heart arrhythmia and you've figured that by using electrolytes correctly you can restore regularity to your heartbeat. And there are lots of reasons why we take electrolytes on a regular basis. But the idea of balancing our electrolytes, which sounds like such a simple fundamental thing, is actually just about impossible unless you just get lucky. It is, in fact, impossible to balance your electrolytes. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to tell you also why that's okay and it doesn't matter. Now, I know that sounds a bit surprising, so hang around for this. Welcome to Shapefixer. I'm Andrew. I am a nutritionist and I'm a sportsman who uses electrolytes regularly when I go running and cycling, and I really don't want my electrolytes to go out of balance. So if you need to understand what electrolytes are and what they do, then you need to watch my video on electrolytes, which I will link in the video notes in the description just below here, and I will also put a link up here somewhere on the end screen when this video is finished. So I'm not going to go into detail about what each electrolyte is and what it does in your body. I'm going to talk to you about how you make sure that your electrolytes are balanced, because electrolytes interact with each other. Now, the ones we're most concerned about are sodium, calcium, potassium, and magnesium. Those are the four positively charged atoms, if we're going to get a little bit geeky, the positive ions in our body that act together with the three negatively charged electrolytes, chloride, phosphate, and bicarbonate, and they maintain a sort of electrical balance. So they're vital to the functioning of our nervous system. Now, most of them we get from our food. Some of them don't come as electrolytes in our food. We build them from the food we eat, and we generally don't have deficiencies or any kind of problems with bicarbonate and with phosphate because we make it. We don't have a chloride issue because we don't need all that much, and there's always going to be some salt in the food that we eat, and we're going to get enough chloride. So the issues are sodium, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. And when you're trying to understand what supplement to take, and you're looking at the ingredients, and it's telling you how many grams of sodium, how many grams of potassium, how many grams of magnesium, or it might show you a ratio on the packaging and you're wondering what the ratio should be. So let's use sodium and potassium as an example. You can go online and Google what the ratio should be, and that's just going to make your life miserable, because you're going to find it should be 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1. How is there not consensus on this? It's ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that and why that is, and why we can't seem to agree on what the ratio needs to be. So the first thing is, even if everybody said yes, it needs to be, say, 1 to 1. Let's just, for argument's sake, say sodium and potassium 1 to 1. What does that mean? Does that mean 10 grams of sodium and 10 grams of potassium? Is that 1 to 1? It's not, because potassium is much heavier than sodium. In fact, it's almost twice as heavy. So if you want the amount to be the same, the mass is going to be 1 to 2. So even those ratios don't mean anything, because I couldn't find a ratio anywhere to explain, did they mean by weight, or did they mean by the number of actual atoms that you're going to get that are going to join into your chemistry? So it's all ridiculous. There doesn't seem to be any consensus. And how do we know? Then it's different. Your requirements are going to be different because they're going to depend on what you already have in your body from one day to the next. If you're sick, or if you've been doing a lot of exercise and sweating out a lot of electrolytes, you will lose them in different rates. So you will have to replenish one more than you have to replenish another one. So again, your requirement is not a fixed ratio. What I need is not going to be the same as what you need or what my mother needs. So again, it's going to be different. So you can't find it. So how on earth are you supposed to control your electrolyte balance by taking supplements in predetermined amounts with set ratios and a certain number of ounces or grams a day? It's insane, because your own requirement changes every day. The answer, I'm happy to say, is good news. You don't need to balance your electrolytes. Your body will balance your electrolytes. Your body is, I've said this before, very clever than you. It's a genius biological computer that has processes that finely tune the balance between potassium and sodium and magnesium and routes those electrolytes to various parts of the body, to the muscles, to the nerves, into the cell liquid, according to where they're needed from time to time. And so long as you have enough, your body can do its job. If you're short, like say you're deficient in magnesium, then your body can't balance them out because it's missing, and you will have symptoms. Okay, and I've done videos on all of those 4 electrolytes and what the symptoms are, so you can tell which one it is that you're probably short of. Okay, I'll link all of these videos down below here. It's not common to be short, but if you're sweating a lot, or if you're really sick, or if you've got diarrhea and you're vomiting, or you're very old, or your food is very bad, then you are probably going to be deficient in one or other electrolyte. Most commonly magnesium or potassium, or both, and you'll have heart arrhythmias and issues. So please go and look at those videos, and you can tell by the symptoms which one you are probably short of. Then you risk nothing by just having a supplement and getting a bit extra. Because when you have more than you need, okay, when you don't have enough, your body can't operate properly. When you have more than you need, sodium, you will sweat it out as salt. Potassium you will pee out. It'll go through your kidneys and into your urine. Magnesium will go right through you with the food that you don't digest and end up down the drain somewhere. Okay, yes, you will poo it out. That's what will happen. And calcium, when you've got too much calcium in your body, gets shuttled into your bones for storage in case you need it later. And the big advantage of that is it keeps your bones strong. Osteoporosis is the condition of not having enough calcium in your bones. And it's not always because you don't have enough calcium in your diet. It's because something else has gone wrong and it's not going into your bones like it should. And it's hanging around in the soft tissues, causing problems and giving you a heart problem and a dry cough and various other symptoms. So so long as everything's working properly, you can't really have too much. You can't eat too much salt. You just can't face eating any more salt if you've got enough sodium and chloride in your body. You don't want salt anymore. So if you like salt and you want salt, eat salt. It's fine. You need it. You need the sodium. You need the chlorine. If you have too much, you'll sweat it out. So don't panic. So how do you balance your electrolytes? You don't. You let your body do it. But you've got to treat your body with a bit of respect. So you've got to eat the right food. Don't eat the junk food. Cut down the sugar. Don't drink alcohol every day. Don't smoke. Make sure you have a healthy metabolism and a healthy weight, and your body will absolutely regulate your electrolyte balance so long as you're not deficient. So as long as you're eating enough healthy food, you probably won't even need a supplement, except when you go for a 3-hour bike ride, or you go on vacation somewhere really hot and humid and you sweat much more than you normally do. Take electrolytes when you rehydrate. Don't just drink straight water. Get a general electrolyte replacement powder or tablet and have that with your water, and your body will balance your electrolytes for you, and you won't have to worry about it, and you won't have to sit there worrying about doing the maths to figure out the ratios and measuring out the grams and the ounces and comparing the atomic mass of this element with that element. You don't have to do any of that. Okay, your body will balance your electrolytes. Thank you for watching. Please like the video. Please share this video as much as you can, and consider becoming a member of our channel where we learn fun, interesting, useful things like this in our videos.